Hello traders, Gary Wagner here, just about 10:15 in Honolulu, 4:15 in New York. It is Monday, the 26th day of October, 2015, and this is the daily report for gold and silver. We have the markets in essence unchanged today. As you can see, 1163.67 showing slightly in red. That's when we look at spot gold. COMEX gold trading up about $1 on the day of 1163 and change. Very a small range on the day today, 62 on the low, so we're just off of the low, 69.60 on the high. So under a $10 range, not very much movement at all, as many traders await the onset of this month's FOMC meeting scheduled to get underway later on this week. Silver also trading quietly today. It is in essence unchanged, up about 2 cents on the day, 1584, whether we look at it in a weekly chart as right here on the upper left-hand corner or a daily chart. We are getting dojis across the board, not only in silver, but in gold. And in gold, we've seen that happen 3 days in a row. And we're looking at a daily chart, standard candlestick format. We still see this definite bias to the downside, in which we have characterized our markets ever since it hit these highs at roughly 1191 as going into a corrective period. And that's really a corrective period that is coming off of this most recent rally, the rally that took us about $100, $1,100 just above that to just shy of 1,200, 1191 in terms of the top of the market. We've seen this market really meander to lower pricing since that point. Now, one of the more effective ways really to rate or to look at the strength of a particular trend is the use of Japanese average charts. I've just converted our daily chart to a Japanese average chart, and really what it tells us, you can see that during this upswing, we had a really strong trend in play. You had large candles all the way up to the top till that pivotal candle came in, and when we moved from green to red. However, this entire sell-off has been meek at best. Body size is very small. Tails, both upper and lower tails. And what that tells you is that the selling that we're seeing is not selling with any kind of real conviction, one, and two, has very little strength in it. And because of that, I am looking at any point for key signals that we find some support. We do have these lows at around 1160. We have highs at around 1180, but those lows and highs were achieved on last week's trading activity all in a single day, because whether we look at this in a Japanese average format or standard candlestick format, the lows and the highs are intact. Those are true lows and highs, unless you trade at no point below the midpoint, and then the low, of course, would become the bottom of the candle or the top of the candle in the case of a high, as we get here. That's the only time you'll get an absence of that high and low wick when you look at the Japanese average charts. So as you know, one of the models that we've been looking at in terms of this correction was to see whether or not this correction, meaning our move up, our impulse wave, then our corrective wave, whether or not that would be some sort of an ABC. We postulated that as a possibility. Now, when we look at the most recent price activity, and I'm taking into account Friday's activity in which we had this high, which actually went into calculated territory, meaning a 50% move from the low of this particular move, then it is possible that we're just going to meander to some lower point, whether it's 1149, 1150 in that area, and then find support and move back up, or somewhere around this area that would give us what's called a flat. So I want to leave the door open, and especially with the FOMC meeting this week, we could get some added volatility towards the end of the week. But as of right now, we're looking for any signs that this correction is over, and as of now, have not received those signs. So really, the bottom line in gold is that it is the beginning of the week. We're looking to see if it wants to trade lower on the week or if it's going to make up some of the ground from last week's sell-off, in which we saw it really trade to these lows at around 1161, if we'll find support in this area or if we'll drift lower. We'll have to see as this week unfolds. This has been Gary Wagner, wishing you as always good trading. We will talk to you tomorrow for another daily update and review. Bye-bye.